After a 4-win season, they had a GM hiring process that has been eerily similar to the acquisition of Bill O'Brien. Deshaun Watson is infuriated with the Houston Texans and is rumored to want out. And this, paired with James Harden's recent departure to Jersey, makes me ask, is there something going on between Jose Altuve and the Astros management that we don't know about? Jokes aside, the Houston Texans QB future is up in the air. Tristan, tell us a little bit about why Deshaun Watson is so mad with the Texans.
It is crazy to me how inept the Texans continue to be. First, they allowed Bill O'Brien to trade away D-Hop for a bag of grapes and a side of potato chips. Then they go on to lose some more. The only reason they won 4 games is because of Deshaun Watson. Then they go on to exclude him from the general manager search, hire a firm to aid them in that search, and they don't even listen to that firm and sign another person linked to the Patriot way and the Patriot coaching tree, whatever you want to call it. What they're doing now is mind-boggling, and they continue to choose Jack Easterbay instead of star and former player opinions, their own fans' opinions. J.J. Watt has shared negative opinions about the organization. Andre Johnson most recently spoke negatively about the Texans, and we know D-Hop clearly doesn't like them that much anymore. At some point, the problem is with them and their players when all this information and all these negative opinions are coming out. Now, when it comes down to it, the smart decision would be to mend the relationship with Deshaun and involve him in the head coaching search. Maybe resign Will Fuller. I don't think that's that likely. I think it is unlikely that he gets traded because at the end of the day, he has 3 years left on his contract with a no trade clause. I think the Texans are going to be too petty to trade him to a good team. A good team's not going to have enough draft compensation, and Deshaun Watson isn't going to sign off on going to a really bad team, such as maybe the Jets. But we are here to give you an opinion on what's the best location for him and different trade scenarios. So Isaiah, why don't you talk about your first one?
Well, real quick, a few things. One, you mentioned fan opinion of the Houston Texans. Let me say this to you and all the fans out there. Your opinions are terrible. You would always make the wrong choice in hiring people, and you need to shut up about the way a lot of teams do things. Now, granted, you're right sometimes, but fan opinion truly does not matter in terms of the hiring process. But I too think Deshaun Watson is unlikely to leave the Houston Texans just because of the caliber of quarterback he is. He is fringe top 5, maybe higher than that. He's one of the best young QBs in the league. The future of the NFL will involve him. But at the end of the day, if he refuses to play football, he will get shipped off somewhere. And I'm here to tell you, and you may not like hearing this, folks, he's off to the New England Patriots if he's going. And sure, the Miami Dolphins have better draft capital, but at the same time, all this buzz coming about the Dolphins having uncertainty with Tua is from outside the building. Inside the building, he is still their guy. That, and they would also have to part with the best left tackle prospect we have seen possibly ever in Penei Sewell. Truly an amazing run blocker, someone who will develop into an elite pass blocker. They are throwing that future pick away because the number 3 overall pick would certainly be involved in the Houston Texans trade. So I just don't see the Dolphins moving heaven and earth their entire future for Deshaun Watson, particularly when they don't have truly elite receivers, which is one of Watson's biggest reasons to hate the organization. But the Patriots have the draft capital. They have a high pick this year at 15. Not that high, but it's serviceable. They've got 6 top 4 round picks. And a player which isn't really being talked about, which may be involved in a little bit of sign and trade action, is the best cornerback in the league, bar Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Gilmore. I could see him going and being a Houston Texan and getting a nice new contract. The new GM, former Patriots guy, he knows how good of a player Gilmore is. He is going to be able to pick and choose players from that organization who he can build around. And I don't think it'll be just draft picks and Gilmore. I think they'll get 1 or 2 good pieces in there. Not that the Patriots have that many pieces right now to begin with, but I just can't see a situation where it goes down to the Dolphins. And if he's going somewhere, the Patriots are the team to make a move and get another high-end quarterback talent and establish themselves as a top dog in the NFL for another 10 years.
I don't think that he'd be going to the Patriots or teams with the Patriots draft pick status currently would be that likely because they're not going to be able to get a high-end quarterback at 15 more than likely unless they trade up again, and then they'll have even less draft picks. And I think a team like New England, they'd have to give up an incredible amount of draft picks. Probably both firsts over the next 2 years, both seconds over the next 2 years, and probably more. Now, would that be Stephon Gilmore? Is that even enough to get Deshaun Watson with how many teams to be interested? I think it depends if the Texans believe they can build around Tua. I think the Dolphins are the best partner for the Texans and the best destination for Deshaun where Deshaun would actually sign off on it. The Texans would probably get both firsts this year, a couple of seconds, plus Tua. That allows them to draft a stud receiver in the draft, probably pick up Penei Sewell, makes them have a dominant tackle duo, probably beef up their secondary, which was embarrassing this past season. And I think Deshaun would love to play with Devontae Parker and have a defense that's looking like one of the best in the NFL moving forward. The thing that I think would cause this trade to fall apart, once again, if the Texans don't really believe in Tua, then why would they want to get a quarterback that they don't really think they can build around if they would also probably just rather have one that can draft at 3 overall? That wouldn't really make sense. I think we can all agree Tua's not going to be as good as Deshaun. It just depends if the Texans think they can build around him with all the draft capital they would receive in return. And another team that a lot of people are talking about, but I don't think is going to happen, is the Jets. Because why would Deshaun want to go to the Jets when all the draft capital the Jets would have to give up is gone? They're not going to be able to add pieces around him that the general manager has been stacking up to actually create a good team. I think this would be the best compensation for the Texans at the end of the day, because they may not believe in Tua. They can get 2 firsts, 2 seconds over the next 2 years, maybe even more draft compensation, allow the Texans to rebuild with a new quarterback, add positional pieces that the genius Bill Bryan threw away. Best trade partner for the Texans. I just don't see any way Deshaun Watson would be signing off on the Jets.
I don't see any way the Jets sign off on that. Look, you can say what you want about the Jets coaching, but they've got a very good general manager who drafts well. I do not expect that they would be parting with that number 2 overall pick very easily and be sending much with it, which the Texans would want. I am sure that whoever is selected number 2 overall will be an NFL success, whether that be Fields or whether that be Sewell. I don't know. If it's Sewell, Sam Darnold probably will start working out a lot better in the NFL. If it's Fields, he will immediately be an effective player in the league. But I don't see the Jets parting with that and future years of draft capital just to get Deshaun Watson, who, as you said, probably wouldn't be too happy about winding up in Jersey either.
Teams I want him to go to, Isaiah. I think you know which team I'm going to say.
Don't say it. You don't have to say it. Everyone already gets it. Just move on with the other ones, which are realistic.
I want him to go to the Giants, obviously, because I'm a Giants fan. Watching him play with Saquon would be awesome. I won't go any further than that because I think Isaiah will come to my house and shoot me.
Yeah, 3 games of Saquon Barkley before he gets hurt again behind a terrible offensive line. Anyway, anyone else you want to go play for?
There's one other team I would love to see him play for. I think it would be awesome to watch him play on the 49ers. I think that would be game-changing for him, playing in a Kyle Shanahan offense with a dominant run game, young receivers, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Him and George Kittle would turn into Mahomes and Kelsey. They'd be setting records, P. Homey and Kelsey type numbers. And I think at the end of the day also, there are legitimately 20 teams that should put in some type of call to acquiring Deshaun Watson.
Well, since we're living in the land of make-believe, because Deshaun Watson ain't ending up 49er, I'll throw a few teams out there. I'd love to see Deshaun Watson on the Ravens, so Lamar Jackson can finally become a truly effective running back / wide receiver, and that offense can take off. I would love to see him on the Minnesota Vikings, because I'm sure the Houston Texans would be very willing to take Kirk Cousins' contract. Hell, I would love to see him on the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. The duo of him and Trevor Lawrence, the things that offense could do, oh my goodness. But enough of that. That has been our thoughts on where Deshaun Watson will end up. I'm inclined to say he's staying home just because of how talented the player he is. But if he goes, he's going up north to New England. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you think of the video down in the comments below, and we will see you later.